All right, so whenever you get a new instrument, you're always looking for accessories for it that will make it more useful. The input is protected to plus 30 dBm, which is 1 watt, but that's an absolute maximum. You really don't want to use it. Don't want to use it there. So I always like using a 30 dB pad on the front of a spectrum analyzer for if I'm going to measure something like a handheld radio that's put to output something like 5 watts. I'll want a nice big attenuator to put on the front and really knock that signal down. So 30 dB does a good job of that. So I do have a 30 dB pad, but it's kind of large. And I wanted something that maybe would just fit on the front of the instrument. So I was looking on eBay, and some guy had some brand new in the package Pasternak attenuators. And I've talked about Pasternak in the past. They're here in California, Irvine, California. They make very nice stuff. Now, I was surprised about this particular offering. It was listed for, it was a buy it now, and it was $29 free shipping, right? Imagine that. $29 free shipping. All right, so what is it? It's, like I said, it's brand new in the box. You know it's high wattage because it's got a heat sink on it. And this one is a type N to, wow, that's really on there. Type N to type N. There we go. And so it's going to fit on the front of my spectrum analyzer and be nice and stout with the end connector. And there we go. And it's not too long that if something hits it, I'm worried about it levering, the front connector and really destroying things. But this is nice. It just sits in the front here, and it's very, very sturdy. All right. So the reason I was excited about this $29 free shipping is that, as I've mentioned before, some attenuators are only spec to 1 gigahertz. Now I have a 3 gigahertz spectrum analyzer, so it'd be nice if it was spec'd up to 3 or 4 or 6 gigahertz. This is one of Pasternak's 12.4 gigahertz attenuators, all right? So I'll show you here, the list price of these things is like $450. Yeah, $450. When I first got into RF design work back in the mid 80s, I was shocked at how much expensive everything was. Attenuators were expensive, cables were expensive, just little fiddly bit things, just super, super, super expensive. So yeah, so $29 for a $450 attenuator, I would say is a good deal. Brand new in the package. No, it's not used. Just totally amazing. All right. So should we measure it and see if it really is 30 dB? Yeah, why don't we do that? Let me put my we use our tracking generator. Let's see how it's going to do. Put this one on here. These are the end connector to SMA adapters. I could go grab an end-to-end cable, but I'm too lazy to get out of my chair because it's cold. I have a heater right under my desk, so it keeps me toasty. It's like 45 degrees here today, so it wasn't too warm. Yeah. Maybe it is in certain parts of the country, but in California, 45 degrees is friggin' cold. All right, so we will turn on our tracking generator at 0 dBm. We'll turn that on, and we will stick this on here. And sure enough, it's minus 30. Goes straight across. Very, very nice. Yeah, it's a beauty. It is a beauty. So now I can do things like measure my HT. Let's see here. Let me get a different adapter. All right, I've got my Yaesu FT3DR connected up to the attenuator, 10 watt attenuator. And we'll be able to transmit. And there we see there's some kind of carrier there. We're going to be transmitting on 144.85. 144.85 megahertz. And there we are in the middle. We'll do a span of 100 kilohertz. And yeah, there we go. We're wiggling around. Hello, test, test, test. So we want to measure amplitude here. We will put in a reference offset of 30. What that does is it tells the instrument there's a 30 dB pad there, so when I measure, it'll measure the correct dBms. And we will set our reference level to, let's say, 40. Yeah, there we go. This is outputting, let's do a peak detect on it. Yeah, around 36 dBm. Did you see that? Let me do a trace max hold. There we go. And we'll do a peak. And our peak is around 37 dBm, 36.9 dBm. And there we go. So let's zoom in some more. Do a span of, let's say, 20 kilohertz. 20 kilohertz. And we will do it back, and there we go. So it's building up as I talk, and I give it more FM modulation. You can see it's filling in. Let me see if I can generate a tone, a DTMF tone. Let's do a clear right trace. DTMF. There we go. That looks sort of like FM. Yeah, there we go. So nice to have such a fast spectrum analyzer to see all this stuff. But yeah, so now I can test up to 10 watts on the input of the analyzer. I don't have to worry, and it's very compact. It doesn't get in the way. Nice and robust with the end connectors and stuff. I do have a little attenuator that I use once in a while. I think this is a 5-watt attenuator, SMA to SMA. It's still handy, but this will be nice for higher wattage stuff. All right, there you go. Just a quick video. I suggest you start accumulating a whole collection of attenuators. Each one has their particular job. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and this one is gonna fit very well for this application.